So here we have the 2 HP app. So as the name would suggest, the 2 HP arp is an arpeggio generator, an amazing use of 2 HP for that small space. And as I said before, it's kind of hard filming these, it's dwarfed by its bigger modules around it. But we trigger this, we have the trigger in, reset input, CV input for the root note to transpose its output, CV in for the chord type controlled by this little mini pot, which we'll come to in a second, mode and root note shift. We'll start with mode. So chord type is just major. Mode 1 is rising. Mode 2, as you scroll around, is 2 octaves, rising, falling, 2 octaves falling, up and down over 2 octaves, and random over 2 octaves, and random over 1 octave as well. Going back to the basic rising mode, you can add a 7th in, which is major 7, major 7s, dominant 7s, minor chords, minor 7s, and some augmented and diminished chords, and lots of various other chord types at your fingertips. So let's expand on this first patch. I'm still clocking the 2 HP app. Its output is going into the scope. We can just see these kind of little pyramid rises and falls with the pattern. Output was originally going straight into my oscillator, but it's now going through the ADAC quantizer, set to a chromatic scale with every single note turned on. Now if I take my input from the quantizer, which is the app, and go straight into my oscillator, you can hear it's exactly the same. To the quantizer into my oscillator. But the reason I've gone through the quantizer is I want to use a kind of controller performance type little mini patch to influence the app with its root note shift and its chord type shift as a playable kind of interface, which is great when this module's so slim, because couple it with this and it's still not that big for what it's doing. So ARP is running into the quantizer, and I'm going to use these manual gates through an attenuator, which is a happy nerd in 3x MIA. Manual gates is the manual gates from ADAC system, and that's going into the root. So my first gate is being attenuated, and it's going to transpose up a 4th. And then the second is a 5th. And that's the reason for going through the quantizer. You can set any variable voltage into this root note transposition, but going into another quantizer means this can create the pattern, I can add to it and keep to a key. I've also got another gate which is going into the chord type. So listen, it'll go from major to minor. Minor, upper 4th, back down, upper 5th, back down, back to major. And I've got another gate swelling the feedback on my delay. Now, because I've got this other quantizer, I can be much more free with the app and stay in key. If I wanted to be in a minor scale, So here I have a C natural minor, C, D, E flat, F, G, A flat, B flat. This will actually be C because I haven't tuned my oscillator to anything, but natural minor scale. This has turned what was that major chord coming out of the arp into a sus4. It's now playing C, F and G instead of C, E and G. Still got minor. Still transpose. It's a great way to work with the arp and expand on what that does into a little controller hub for your system. So for this patch, I have the arp being triggered by a random gate, and that random gate is this blue trace on data. Now I'm triggering my envelope that's opening up the VCA on my main little plucky sound constantly from a clock, but I'm triggering arp with the random gate. So if I take that sound and unmute it, turn the delay down. So you can hear that's constantly being triggered, but the pitch changes aren't constant. And I'm randomly modulating the envelope and some tonal parameters as well. The effects back on. So it's going to climb up whatever mode we're in or back down, but it isn't going to be a kind of static, normal arpeggio. I have a chord in the background, which is the minor chord drawn in through a big stereo reverb. It's a wavetable, which has been modulated. So I'm using the minor or minor 7 modes to play over this minor chord. We can have random note selection across 2 octaves and random triggering of when that pitch will happen, because again, this trigger isn't a regular clock. Bring the 7 in. And we're off. Some drums, quite subtle in the background. And that mode and chord type between minor and minor 7 is going to work great. I could go to another chord type, but with a minor chord drawn in the background, a major arpeggio over that isn't really going to work. So that's it for this look at the 2HP arp module. Fantastic use of space yet again, without really scrimping on features. Again, we trigger when these notes change. It can be a clock or a rhythm or random gate, anything you can throw at it. You can reset that position. We can change its root note, chord type by CV, chord type, mode, and root note on the little knobs, and the main pitch output. Check out the other videos in the 2HP Tuesdays series, including the verb, the pluck, and the kick so far. There's more to come. Thanks for watching. Hit like, subscribe, leave a comment, consider joining my community and support me over on Patreon. Cheers for watching.